Good morning, my friends. I am Daniel with New Moon Guidance. So blessed to be here with you on yet another collective reading. It's a little bit gray outside today, but hey, it is what it is. You know, sometimes you just need the rain, you need that water for that life. So perhaps you're feeling like there are a lot of people who are coming to you for advice, or maybe people are just attracted to you right now. You have this charm, you have this appeal, and you don't really know where it's coming from. And you're like, hey, this is great. You know, I've got charm, I've got appeal, all is well with the world, you know. And not to knock you off the high horse, so to speak, but this is just, we kind of go through these ups and downs, and it's more of accept it, embrace it, but don't try to live in it for too long, because then if you set your expectations too high, then you fall off instead of dismount. So it's just more of a cautionary thing. And I got this actually from the chart here for today, and actually for the week moving forward, because we are still in the Mercury Retrograde. So we're in this Mercury retrograde, and we have the moon very strongly placed in the chart. We have the sun strongly placed in the chart at the time of this reading, and we have Libra on the ascendant and Mercury retrograde. The Mercury retrograde is telling us to slow down, to take a second look at everything before we approach it, to think before we speak, and it's in Libra. So the Mercury retrograde is really telling us to take more of an objective stance on things. And I talked about this on the last post as well. Lo and behold, it still applies today. And because of all these people coming to us, and you know, this just sense of uplift and charm that you may have, you may in fact take that for granted, and you may start speaking things or saying things just here and there, just to people. I'm going to say this to this person, I'm going to say this to this person. You may find that in the position that you are now, it actually may create more misunderstandings than more connections with people. So just dial it back a bit. Just feel the energies out before you really go in and you say things to people, or before you type that email to somebody. Any form of communication with somebody, just dial it back just a notch, just a little smudge. Feel out the energy first before you communicate. So the other keyword here is excess. Let's be wary about reveling in too much excess, right? And this is where I was talking about this sine wave. If you're up here right now and you're just kind of living in that moment and you're just embracing it, but you try to drag it out a little too far, you may find that it's a little bit excessive. You may not feel it, but you will. You will feel it when it starts coming back down, and how hard it comes back down is how much you've delayed by staying up in this moment. So I'm not saying, you know, that life can't be good and you can't have your pleasures and you can't enjoy what's happening in the moment. It's just about not staying in that moment for too long. Take it all with a slice of humble pie. The fact that even if you are feeling like people are coming to you, grandiosity is not really appealing. It's not. So if you're living in excess for too long, then people will start to turn their backs and, you know, okay, this person's a little bit much right now. So it's just a matter of bringing things to balance. Let's balance out the excess. Let's find a way to bring that balance by, again, just dialing it back just a smidge. And Saturn is prominently placed in this configuration of planets too. So Saturn, as we know, is the planet of responsibility. It's the planet of, okay, hang on a second. Jupiter is like, I'm going to go out in every which direction. I'm going to embrace everything. And then when it's interacting with the moon like it is now, it's even more so. So Saturn's like, hold on a second. Wait a moment. Easy there, Jupiter, right? And Saturn's always kind of done that with Jupiter, but it's bringing in the patience and it's bringing in the calm. Negative things generate turbulence, but so do positives. They all create distortions, right? They all create these turbulences, and it's where on the wave you're riding it that really makes the difference here. Riding the wave of Jupiter is totally different than riding the wave of Saturn. And I think we're like on the prime part of this wave, and Saturn's just like, okay, now you're gonna go for a little tumble and it's gonna be okay, right? Or if you decide to say, okay, hang on, I'm gonna readjust my course here, I'm going to try to consciously just move in a direction where I'm going to just kind of slip away a bit, then maybe you won't go for that tumble. This is where you're going to find your balance, is by reflecting on the water, by reflecting on the emotions, right? Because your mind can be jetting every which direction with, how do I approach this person? How do I do this with this person? How do I approach this business deal? How do I communicate with this person without upsetting them? You're going to flood your mind with all of these thoughts right now. Today, I've pulled the Dragonfly. So the Dragonfly is an air card, but you'll notice that it's got this big inverted triangle here, and what that represents is water. That is the symbol for water, and it's got the color of water, and all around the Dragonfly is this very calm pattern. It's just like very straight lined. It's not turbulent in any way, because the Dragonfly is finding reprieve in its reflection. It's finding calm within itself. And so this is what the Dragonfly energy is asking you to do. And in Mother Nature, you see a dragonfly darting around. It's quick. It shimmers in the light. It hangs around the water. Dragonflies are usually around bodies of water. So people are attracted to you in your life right now. They see you as a dragonfly. They see you as a catalyst for transformation. They see you at your highest point right now, which is fantastic, and you can bring forward transformation to other people. This is a prime time to help others to transform. In all this beauty and this shimmer and the light that a dragonfly can bring, it can also bring confusion. And so this is where the dragonfly energy is darting around. This is where you can confuse people or create misunderstandings by just saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, or not really thinking about which way you're going and what you're saying to other people, or what you're telling yourself, because you can confuse yourself just as well. So if you take a look at the card again, the air represents the mind, but the dragonfly is finding refuge here on the water. And you'll notice that when a dragonfly is truly still, it is very still. It's reflection, it's focusing on the breath. And by taking that step back and focusing on the breath and reflecting, we can decide if we're going to be saying this to somebody else. We can decide if, this is the route that we're going to go. This is the path we're taking. This is how we're reflecting. This is how we're being. And I think that's really the key component of the message for this coming week. Even if for a brief moment, because the dragonfly moves around really quickly, even for that brief moment, if you take the time to pause and reflect, you will almost see with absolute clarity which direction you need to go in, what you need to say, the direction in life that you need to go. And you will notice that there is a greater focus on your public life right now rather than your private life. And because of that, you may be tempted to just roll with that momentum and to just let everything just bleh, for lack of better wording. You're just letting everything spill out. But it's not really the time for that either. It's the time to stop and reflect if you're going in the right direction and if you need to change direction in life. And that's another thing that the dragonfly energy brings about. But really, to bring that energy into balance, it's about just taking that moment just to breathe, just for that little moment of clarity. All these little moments of clarity are what really matter right now. And you can see it with almost shimmering vision, almost a third eye like intuition, if you just consciously take that moment. And with that, my friends, I leave you with this affirmation today. I pause and breathe for clarity so that I may shine my light on the path ahead. I pause and breathe for clarity so that I may shine my light on the path ahead. All right, my friends, thank you so much as always for listening, and I will see you for the next post. Take care. Bye-bye.